And also on the broadcast, we've got Mr. John Irath, who's a Senior Policy Director for the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation, and also a former member of the U.S. delegation to NATO. Mr. Irath, thank you very much for joining us here on WION. Now, looking at what is unfolding at this moment of strike and counter-strike between Iran and Israel, and also the comments that have been made by the Israeli Prime Minister, where he says that an assassination of the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, he claims will actually end this war and not escalate it. Are you convinced with the explanation the Israeli Prime Minister is giving?
I don't have any special information about what is in the mind of the Israeli Prime Minister. I think that the war is going on, and the statements that we're hearing out of both sides are somewhat self-serving and aimed at helping each side realize its war aims. So that has to be taken into consideration when evaluating.
Now, Mr. Rath, you say that you're a diplomat and you want to see diplomacy given a chance. But considering what is unfolding at this moment, do you think either Iran or Israel is looking for an off-ramp? Although Donald Trump says that the Iranians must return to the negotiating table, but he does not specify what exactly the Americans have on offer that is different from what the Americans were offering before Operation Rising Lion started.
It is certainly possible that President Trump has information that the rest of us do not have access to. And I hope that he does, and I hope that it is something that is leading towards a early settlement of this conflict. In the absence of that, I don't see that it's going to be very easy to reconcile two countries that are currently bombing each other on a nightly basis and hitting hospitals and television stations and other targets like that. It's not going to be very easy to resolve this kind of thing. But there's always the possibility for diplomacy. It's always the possibility that one side, or indeed both sides, may decide that their interests are better served by finding that off-ramp, by finding a way to stop the fighting, to stop the bombing early, and live with the situation as it is.
Right. Now, the Iranians, in their critique of what has happened, they say that they were lulled perhaps into complacency because of the negotiations that they were having with the Americans and the repeated reports that were coming out that Donald Trump had told Benjamin Netanyahu to not strike Iran so that diplomacy gets a chance. But now, looking at the information that is coming in, the Americans are, in fact, sending their USS Nimitz carrier strike. This is now being sent to West Asia. Apart from this, Pete Hegseth, the Defense Secretary of the United States, is sending more reinforcements for the American military presence in the region. So on the one hand, the Americans still insist that they are not willing to join this war, but on the other, they are mobilizing more of their sources. Is there something that we need to read into the manner in which the Americans are negotiating here?
I think that it was not clear from what the Secretary of Defense said exactly what forces are being sent to the Middle East region. It's very likely based on past examples that the forces that are being sent are missile defense, radars, things like that that are useful for protecting American forces and American facilities. That seems to be what is most important in the Pentagon right now.
Right.
But that's just guesswork at this point. There's been no specifics given, so we don't know at this point.
Right. And also, Mr. Irath, I mean, you follow this region very closely. In the many conflicts that Israel has been embroiled in before, you know, the clear asymmetry and the advantage that it enjoys technologically and militarily has ensured that the Israeli mainland has never been hit. But that is not the case this time round. You know, the kind of devastation that we've seen, the Iranian ballistic missiles have wreaked on places such as Tel Aviv, Haifa, and even Jerusalem. Do you think the image of the Israeli invulnerability in the region has been dented to a certain extent?
I think that there has been a higher level of attacks than previously on the Israeli territory. The Israelis have a layered missile defense system that has been successful in stopping the majority of what Iran has shot at them. But with any missile defense, something is going to get through. Mm-hmm. And since there are more things being shot at Israel this time, more are getting through, and more damage and more death is occurring. That's part of the tragedy of this current conflict. All the more so because it was avoidable. It's a conflict that Israel chose to initiate, and so they have chosen the damage that is being done to their own country.